If you never ride your bike in cold weather conditions, if you don't live in a city with smog, if you don't have a pollen allergy, or for some reason you never have to wear a face mask due to the pandemic restrictions, you can skip this video because this product is not for you. However, if you do ride all year round and you will face some of these circumstances, then this might actually be a very interesting product. I never knew that there actually was a product that could increase your performance when you're riding or training in these type of conditions. But NAROO has developed various kinds of face masks with specific filter technology focused on breathing capabilities while you're actually riding with a mask. In this video, I'm going to share my experience with various kinds of face masks that they sent to me, and I'll also talk about the difference between the NAROO mask and, for example, the neck gaiters, which we all know, and standard surgical masks. What's up, guys? What's up, cycling fanatics? My name is Jasper. I make videos about cycling and everything around it. This video is about a specific face mask that might improve the air that you breathe in. NAROO, sponsor of this video, has developed various types of masks with a special fabric that they call micronet. And this micronet fabric filters out 99% of the particles in the air, all the way down to as small as 1.7 microns. That is like this big. I had actually never tried or used anything like this except for the regular neck gaiters. So when NAROO asked me if I wanted to review a couple of them, I was actually, pretty excited. Make sure you watch this whole video to know all about the mask, but also I will be giving away 3 of your favorite masks at the end of this video. So check it out. So when I got the request from NAROO, at first I was like, I don't need it. I never use a mask. I've never used a mask before. In my country, in the Netherlands, the air is relatively clean. I don't have a pollen allergy. When it's cold, I usually use a neck gaiter to put on my neck or my head, and I figured I'd be fine. But then I started thinking about all the different types of environments that I've actually been riding in the last few years. For example, I've been in very, very cold situations, both in the Netherlands when it was snowing, but also in Seoul, South Korea. I've been in very smoggy situations, also in Seoul, but also in California when there were bushfires. I've always been using neck gaiters, but the thing is they're really thin. When it's super cold, they only do so much. And when you put them around your head, they get kind of uncomfortable. They sit pretty tight around your mouth, and they do start to get a bit humid or wet when you breathe through them a lot. So I usually tend to not have it on my nose and mouth. Another thing is that because it's so thin, I always have a cold spot in the back of my neck. So sometimes I would have to use 2 of these, like one that just goes around my neck and then another one to put on my head. And then, as you can see, it's tight here, it's tight in my neck. I never really know how it's comfortable. And then obviously this fabric has absolutely no filtering capabilities at all. Well, it will keep out mosquitoes, but that's it. So let's talk about the masks that I used and where these were really interesting. The box that they sent me, this has a little mirror inside. And then these are the masks that I used. Z5H, the F5S, the F.U Copper mask, the N1 mask, and the F1S mask. All these masks are different and have different specs. If you want to check out all the specs, you should probably just go to the NAROO website. So the name of the mask consists of 3 elements. The first element says something about the actual fabric or the filter that it has. The second one is how warm it is. And the last one is the size. So if it goes all around your head or if it's very small. So this one is an H, which goes pretty high on your head, and this one is an S, which is very short in the neck and also in the top. So that's the difference. I want to start with the first mask that I was wearing in the intro. This is the Z5H. It's a warm mask made for cold conditions, and it has a very special feature inside which they call the X-bone. The X-bone is like a plastic insert that prevents the fabric from sitting against your mouth while you're breathing, and what it does is it creates sort of a warm air pocket which humidifies and warms up the air before you breathe in. So in very cold temperatures it's actually very nice. It's stitched in a certain way around the parts at your eyes, so it sort of stays away from your eyes, and it seals down at your nose. So this makes it not fog up your glasses, and also the fit is very nice. This really prevents those tight areas that I was talking about that bothers me with a normal neck gaiter. They're also pretty long, so they will go all the way inside your jersey, so you stay warm all the way down to where your jersey or your jacket starts. You can see it here. I can just put it inside the jersey like so. This goes then on your nose, this goes on your head. There's this little nose piece that you can bend for extra fit, and this way it sits very nice. And as I did in the intro, if you want, you could even just pull this down and eat or drink. The nice thing about this X-bone as well is that it sort of keeps ventilating the fabric, so it doesn't get like super wet. It does get a little bit damp, but this also helps humidify the air as you breathe it in. Something I didn't like about this mask is the fact that it's over your nose and mouth the whole time. But that's sort of inherent on wearing a face mask. And the reason why I don't like it is because it prevents you from easily drinking and eating while you're exercising. So when I normally ride my bike, I drink a lot of small sips and I take a lot of small bites. Now, when I would ride my bike, I would have to sort of take off the mask, then eat, put the mask back. It's not that convenient. Another thing that I would like to see in this mask is an even warmer version. With this mask, I was riding in Switzerland downhill, very cold, like snowy conditions, and it was still pretty cold. Also because the top of my head wasn't very protected, I was wearing the exact same cap as now. So I would suggest to wear some kind of insulated cap or a beanie under your helmet, so you're protected all the way around. Obviously, if you do this with snowboarding or whatever, you would wear a helmet which probably has insulation already, so you don't need that. The next mask is the F5S. So this is an S model, which stands for, I guess, short. It's smaller. So this mask has two sides, one with a filter. This is the micronet that actually filters out like all the pollution and stuff. Well, almost all, of course, not 100%. The other side is perforated, so it has holes for maximum breathability. So you could change it up by just rotating the mask. It has these earlobes you put around your ears. This actually feels super light on my mouth. It's very nice. Warm in the neck, but it's not long. There is a long version. If I would use this mask, I would definitely prefer a long version for cycling, because then you have a lot of air coming in. Just rotate it around and then you'll have the other side in the front with the nose piece and the filtering fabric in the front. So now it is actually a filter, filtering out the pollen, smog, dust particles and all that stuff. Maybe even small droplets. You know, we're talking about this whole COVID situation. These masks are not specifically for COVID. I'll get to that later. But you can use it for a mask like that. So what I liked about this mask is that it actually feels warmer than the first mask I tried, which is weird because this one is really, I thought this would be warmer, but the fabric is a little thinner. This comes in a thicker version as well. So it is a nice and warm mask. If I would have these in full length, definitely my to-go mask for the winter. It looks really good. It's super soft, like all the masks. The fabric is very soft and that's really nice. A lot of people were already wondering if this would sort of be hard to breathe through, but it's not at all. It's actually pretty light to breathe through, and I did some running with this mask. In this case it was very nice. It was cold, but I could breathe normally and it was very good. Next one is the F.U Copper. This is a mask which basically looks like your everyday face mask that we all need to wear when we go out in public. I've actually been taking this mask on all my trips, and I take it to the supermarket and all that stuff. And if you want, you can ride your bike. There's a nose piece that you can bend. This prevents sort of from the air coming out at the top. Another question I got a lot is, does it fog up your glasses? It kind of depends on the masks. The ones with the nose pieces are pretty good. What I did actually with the first mask with the X-Bone was to put my glasses on top of the mask like this, and this really prevented any air from going into my glass, and it did not fog up at all. They're all washable, by the way, so this is basically your standard mask, but the good thing is it does close around your entire face, and it has the same filter, so it's gonna filter pollen, dust, smog, whatever. The only downside I can think of this mask, it makes your ears protrude. It looks kind of different, but you know, you're wearing a mask anyway. The N1, the next mask I tried out. This is actually a hot weather mask. However, I use this in cold weather, and I really liked it for a couple of reasons. Because it's longer, so it goes all the way till the jersey. It's very light. It doesn't have the nose piece, but for some reason it is so light and soft and stretchy that it doesn't squeeze on your nose at all. So that's nice. It has one side that has like more of a closed fabric. The other side has the perforated holes. So this is maximum breathability. It would not keep anything out except mosquitoes, which can be nice in summer. This side would actually be filtering out like big particles, like big dust particles or something like that. So I was using this in the winter and I was wearing it like this with a cap and my helmet. What I like about this one is that it's so soft and stretchy. I can just put it up like that. Very easy to take it down and drink. And if it is extra cold, you can just put it back up. So even though this is a mask for summer, I still use it in winter, and it's probably one of my favorites. The only thing this mask doesn't do, it will not filter the pollen, other very small particles, like the all other masks with the F code do, the filter code. So if you would use this in summer when you have a pollen allergy, it doesn't gonna help you with your pollen allergy. So you have to choose a different mask. I don't have a pollen allergy, so I don't have to take that into account. The F1S, it's kind of similar to the N1, but it has different fabric. It does have a filter that filters out like very small particles, but the fabric is different. It's this mask, it has colored ear loops. One side is super breathable, you can see through, and then the other side has that filtering capability again. I've actually not used this mask. I tried it on, but this is a specific hot weather mask. It does have a nose piece. The fabric is a little bit different, which makes it sit, in my opinion, not so nice around your back and your, you know, in the back of your neck. Since this is like specifically hot weather mask, I didn't use it. I'm not sure if I like this one very much. Can't say too much about it because I didn't really use it. One of the reasons why you would actually use this, because it's quite big, quite a lot bigger than, for example, the F.U Copper mask that only has the ear loops, is this will block the sun. So if you go into extreme sun, like very high UV ratings, then this is gonna help you to not get sunburned. So that's nice. This has some information about the micronet fabric, taking out 99% of the particles all the way down to 1.7 microns, as I mentioned before. Very short about the C word, the global pandemic. These masks have been developed well before this was a thing. So NAROO didn't make these masks to filter out viruses or anything, but they take down particles to 1.7 microns. The NAROO mask actually filter the air that comes in. And when you look at a standard surgical mask, when I use this, obviously it does feel super light, but it gets warm. It's very hard to breathe through, and it probably does filter something, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't filter as good as as these other masks do, and these are not made for breathability. Go one step further, this is an N95 mask, which is like a proper filter mask, and these are very hard to breathe through. Like I said before, I use the F.U Copper mask just to take with me. It's washable, so you can use it over and over again. Are there any alternatives? I mean, this is only one brand. I've used this brand, but I have tried out the surgical masks and different masks, and I've always been using neck gaiters. So what is actually the difference? Well, there's a lot of different masks nowadays on the market. And they come in various different sizes, shapes, colors and everything. I just noticed that a lot don't close down like all the way on this part of your nose, which is gonna make your glasses fog up. Also, they tend to get kind of warm and they're not as flexible. So, my final take on these NAROO masks. In my case, when I ride in the Netherlands, I would probably only use them in winter, so when it's very cold. And then my favorite mask would probably be the Z5H and the N1, which is the very flexible and thin mask. However, if you do have a pollen allergy or you live in a big city with a lot of pollution, I can really see you using these masks on a more frequent basis. Also, when you're not cycling but you do any other sports activity inside the city, for example, it's nice to have a filter. You know, if you're always breathing these pollution, it's actually pretty bad. Pretty sure it's gonna help you improve your performance and decrease the damage that this pollution might do. So besides using them in winter, I'm also carrying the copper mask just to have it with me. In case I do get in polluted areas, I can put it up. Also when I go shopping or whatever and I need to wear a mask, these are pretty comfortable. And I prefer them over the standard surgical masks. The masks vary from 15 to over 60 euros. This is obviously a lot more than a standard neck gaiter or a surgical mask, but they do give you so much more than just a piece of regular fabric or, you know, a standard surgical mask. They actually do filter, and they keep you warm and so forth. You can wash them, so you can use them a lot. So it actually comes with a few benefits. If you want to purchase them, go check out. There's a link in my description with a code that gives you 5% off on the NAROO website. And besides that, I'm gonna be giving away 3 of your favorite masks. 2 here on YouTube and 1 on Instagram. So if you want to win a mask, you should subscribe to my channel, subscribe to NAROO's channel, and then comment down below which mask would be your favorite and why you'll be using it. And I'll be picking out the winners from the comments. Guys, if you're looking for more content like this, reviews about bikes, products, whatever, click up here. If you want to see my adventures on the bike, click up here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up on this video if you like my content. Now I'm going for a bike ride. I'm gonna see you in the next video. See ya!